You are at the NUS College Admissions Tips webinar, and welcome. Hello, for those who have just joined, welcome to the NUS College Admissions Tips webinar. You'll be meeting quite a few of us today, and I'll just wait a little bit before we begin our introductions. Make yourself comfortable. We'll be here for an hour. Okay, maybe let's get started as we wait for more to stream in. Let's just get going. So my name is Prof. Kwek Su Ying, and I am the Vice Dean in charge of Outreach and Admissions in NUS College. I am also a faculty member in the Department of Physics in the Faculty of Science at NUS. So I'm very pleased to have you all here. And with me here are a few of our student ambassadors, as well as Winnie, who spends a lot of time out doing outreach as well, and she will come on air later. So let's hear from our student ambassadors first. Nikhil, you want to get started?
Yeah, sure. Hi all, I'm Nikhil. I'm a second year engineering science major. And a fun fact of me would be that while I do have a wide range of academic interests, I'm also quite an avid consumer of Japanese media. Satvik?
Yes, and I can confirm that fact. Hi, everyone. My name is Satvik. I'm a second year engineering science major, and I'm doing the second major in innovation and design. One fun fact about me is that I attend several events along with Mikhail. So there are like seminars and workshops, and I love taking notes during those events. And I have a very, very extensive library of those notes. Silver?
Silver. I'm a year 2 philosophy major. And one fun fact about me is that I've never drank this brand of bubble tea called 芝茶山泉 before. And it's been a long time running. So at this point, I'm just not drinking because I don't want to break my streak.
Okay, thanks. I'm sure the audience can relate a lot to that, because I know youths your age love bubble tea, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's just get started. So as I said, I am Prof. Kwek, and I am going to share with you something about NUS College, as well as some tips for admissions. Now, before we begin, let me say that I will be covering some basic information about NUS College. And maybe some of you have heard parts of this before, but today we are actually covering it in a slightly different way, hopefully for better clarity. And in order to be successful in your application to NUS College, you must know what you are applying for. Okay, so let me just get through that first. So before we talk about NUS College, we need to know about NUS, because NUS College is a part of NUS. So all NUS College students are also NUS students, and that's important to remember. We are part of the NUS ecosystem. So National University of Singapore is one of the top universities globally. We are top 10 in the QS Global Rankings and have been top 10 in global employability for a long time, right? We have an extensive network with partner universities all over the world. So coming into NUS, we know that this bachelor's degree that you are going to get is going to be valuable for getting you a job anywhere in the world. Okay. And employers recognize that. So besides all of this, NUS is known to be a top-notch research university, right? But in addition to research, we strongly believe that the university exists for its students, and therefore, we want to be at the forefront of undergraduate education. And it is in this context that I am going to talk about NUS College. So NUS College is the honors college of NUS. And we bring in students from all across NUS, only 6 to 7% of them, and they come together and they learn together in a close-knit community. And this is a place for students who want to enhance their basic NUS degree. So for example, if your basic degree were in philosophy or engineering science, right, you still have that basic degree, and therefore you are a part of the respective faculties like the College of Humanities and Sciences or College of Design and Engineering. But you also are part of NUS College for that bit to enhance your basic degree. Okay, so there are a few key aspects that you need to be aware of. So in NUS College, we provide a curriculum because we are a faculty. It is a broad-based interdisciplinary common curriculum. These courses here, they share the competency aims of the NUS common curriculum. So NUS has a common curriculum and we share the competency aims, but we focus on a global orientation and as well as impactful change making in the communities. And you will see more about that later. Unlike other faculties, we have a smaller student to faculty ratio. All our classes are seminar style. And if you think about it, we have students coming in from different faculties in this small class size, seminar style. And that's the place for you to learn from your peers as well as from your professors, of course. We also have a compulsory enriched residential life program. So we are the only faculty in NUS that has a compulsory residential component for our students to grow and learn. It's part of our pedagogy. So this is a slide that gives you an overview of what NUS is like. Okay, so you have, broadly speaking, you have the NUS Office of Admissions. That's really important. And that oversees admissions. I work closely with the NUS Office of Admissions. Then we have the NUS Office of Student Affairs that oversees residential aspects and student life aspects. The NUS Global Relations Office that takes care of exchange programs and so on. So we also work closely with the Global Relations Office. Okay. Now within NUS, of course, there are faculties, right? It's the School of Computing, the School of Business, Medicine, and so on. And recently there have been 3 new faculties: College of Humanities and Sciences, College of Design and Engineering, and NUS College. So these are the 3 interdisciplinary colleges in NUS, okay? But only NUS College is the honors college. And so NUS College would take students from all across these disciplines, but we are in charge of the admissions. We work closely with our partner faculties and we do the admissions, okay? And so we bring students together from across NUS, the undergraduate population, 6 to 7% of them. So that's how to think about it, yeah? Now, separate from these faculties, we also have the residential colleges, and we are not a residential college. I'll give you the distinction later. Now, so in NUS College, you have a mandatory 2-year residential component, right? You also have global opportunities. We work closely with the Global Relations Office, and they are also mandatory for graduation from NUS College. Okay? And in NUS College, we have more than 50 majors available. We are fully plugged into the NUS ecosystem. Okay? So I hope this is helpful for you. So our vision is to be a community of engaged learners that can connect across boundaries, okay, to stretch one another in order to act courageously for the world. And so what we want to do is to break open the classroom. Okay? As the Honors College, we want to break open the classroom. We want to build an interdisciplinary community that can challenge and open your minds. We want to engage students as active contributors, so because we have these small class sizes. So sometimes, you know, depending on how the students react in class, the class can go in a slightly different way, right? The profs will adapt. Providing a residential program, okay, that encourages exploration and growth. Very often, students stay up quite late and they work on their assignments together. They learn from one another. And we also have profs that stay on campus together with the students. And there's a lot of interaction. Of course, also many fun activities, which we are not going to cover too much today. Yeah. And of course, to go beyond academics through our global and impact experiences, more on that later. So these are all ways we want to break open the classroom. So let's talk about the curriculum that makes us special, right? How does it work? We have all our NUS students taking about slightly over 1/3 of all their courses to fulfill their major requirements. So for example, philosophy, you need to take these number of courses. And all our students have a faculty common curriculum and general education component that is 1/3 of all their courses. And I have mentioned that earlier. Unrestricted electives refers to courses that have no restriction. You can take anything you want, and this can be more courses on your major. It can be a second major, it can be a minor, and so on. Now, as I have said, the NUS college courses fulfill the same competency aims as the NUS common curriculum, and so there is no repetition. You just replace courses. And depending on what is your degree is, whether it's law, philosophy, engineering, this percentage 35 will change a little bit because we want to make sure that our students do not overload on their courses. We have the student in mind, and it's a very tailored program. Okay? But whichever degree you are pursuing, there are distinctive features of the NUS college curriculum. Okay, so firstly, unlike the faculty common curriculum, our classes are small, typically 20 to 25 students per class, sometimes even 12, right? And you will see in the makeup of the class that there are students from different faculties, from law, from business, even from medicine, and I'll talk more about medicine later, okay? And you'll find that in different classes, you also have different sets of peers. Yeah, it is not like you go with the same set of peers throughout year 1, year 2, and year 3. So you really get to know people from all over the university. And so this really is what makes the teaching style very different in NUS College. Now, then let me dive deep into what our courses are like. There are 4 components. The first covers critical competencies. Thinking with writing is actually a basket of courses. There are different topics you can choose from, such as the technology of home, the pursuit of happiness, and so on. And reasoning with data, understanding the social world, computational problem solving are also courses that we offer. If you are in the School of Computing, then you actually would replace the computational problem solving course with the equivalent, the more specialized one in the School of Computing. And all these, of course, are to equip our students with the competencies needed for the future, such as AI, writing skills. And our thinking with writing courses are actually come from one of our predecessors, the University Scholars Program, and it's award-winning. Yeah. Now, our global orientation courses that you see in blue here, this is what I meant when I said that the courses in NUS College are not just interdisciplinary, but they have a global orientation. And there are 3 courses. So our students here, they learn about how people across the world think through movies, through poetry, and across the ages as well. It was very interesting. And a shout out to our second predecessor, Yale NUS College. These courses come from Yale NUS College, and they are co-developed by Yale NUS as well as the former University Scholars Program profs. Okay, making connections are interdisciplinary electives. This means that you take this not in year 1, but maybe year 2 or year 3, right? And this is where you take courses that combine different disciplines, and such as, for example, sustainability would be one where you would have to think about a topic through different angles. Okay. And And if you think about it, all these courses here are to prepare you for your impact experience project, which is a capstone project in NUS College. Okay, and I'll again share more about that soon. Now, so just to recap, all these courses here, they fall under this segment of the pie chart, and you are still taking courses in your major. You are still an NUS student in your disciplinary faculty. So putting this as a bar chart, right? These are courses you take for your major, and it can be slightly more, for instance, for law. Okay? And in NUS, we are really flexible about declaring a new major or minor. So here you can declare a philosophy minor after you matriculate into NUS. Okay, you can also take more physics courses to, if in case you want to do research into physics, right? And I am going to spend a little bit of time on this. So this is one of our double degree programs that involve a university other than NUS. Okay, so this is our partnership with Sean's Po, and it is only for students who are reading economics, history, political science, or sociology. It is a very good program. You will spend your first 2 years in Sciences Po, which is in France, and the second 2 years in NUS College, as well as the College of Humanities and Sciences. And you do that, you get a double degree in 4 years. And if you're interested in this, I will say a little bit about how to apply later. Many of you I know are interested in pursuing more than one degree or a major and a minor. So these 2 slides are just going to say that you can do that in NUS College as well. Broadly speaking, there will be some that you cannot do. For example, a double degree involving law would be very challenging. Okay, but what typically happens for applications is that students can apply to have a double degree in law and economics, for example, and you can also apply to NUS College. And if you are successful in both, right, the Office of Admissions will be contacting you, and then you can make that choice. Okay, and this is the only instance when we actually do that. In other words, that you find that you are suitable for 2 very prestigious programs, and we allow you to make the choice. Okay, other than that, when you apply to NUS College, together with your chosen first choice majors, right? When we make the offer, it would be NUS College together with the first choice major. And that's it, right? You don't get a choice. Okay, so as I have mentioned also, you can apply upfront for pre-packaged multidisciplinary programs like double degree with, involving law, but you can also propose your own multidisciplinary programs after you enroll. You can go to the Office of Registrar's website and look at what are the so-called open degrees that you can declare a major or minor for after you have fulfilled the requirements in NUS. Okay. Now, having talked about that curriculum, let me now mention that the global pathways, which is compulsory in NUS College, right? Now, NUS as a whole, we have our Global Relations Office. Many of our students go on exchange, but it is not compulsory and not everyone goes for exchange. In NUS College, all our students have to go overseas in order to graduate, okay? And this will be supported by financial aid and grants. And there are different ways you can fulfill this requirement. We have our flagship global experience course, which you will see in our next slide. Okay, students can also go for the NUS Overseas College, where you work in a startup overseas. You learn from entrepreneurs, and at the same time, you are studying in a university overseas in the day. In the night, sorry, and you work in the day. And in NUS College, we have a green lane access, which means that you do not have to go through the selection process within NUS, but you still need to go through the selection process overseas. We have also got our own student exchange programs. However, you can also fulfill our requirement by going for student exchange programs that are specific to your discipline in, let's say, in CHS or engineering. Yeah. We have double degree programs that involve partner universities from overseas. So for this, for example, the Sean NUS double degree program, we also have one with Waseda that Silver here is involved in. And finally, we have our Impact Experience project. Our capstone project can also be done regionally in Southeast Asia. Okay, so lots of options there to fulfill this requirement. Now, the Global Experience course is our flagship course. It is a time for students to spend 4 weeks in a particular city to learn about a theme related to that city. Okay, and students will be attending master classes, going on field trips to learn from experts, entrepreneurs, academics, and so on specific topics. So here you see for Global Experience course in New York City, where they are learning about media and finance. They visited the United Nations Institute of Training and Research, right? And a Global Experience in Tokyo, where students actually get to see how the crew can clean the Japanese bullet trains in under 7 minutes, right? So we want to learn from them, and students are required to reflect on what they have learned and after this trip. Yeah. Okay. The Impact Experience project is a final thing about academics that I will be talking about. It is a capstone project. It lasts over 1 year or 2 years, typically 2 years. And this is where you have really got interdisciplinarity in action, because our students must come from different degree majors to form these teams. And together, they will use what they have learned to design, plan, and execute a project. And this is how you can imagine yourself making a lasting positive impact on the community. And that's why we have it over 2 years typically. Okay. And we, the faculty, will try to put you in touch with key partners, as well as provide some resources for you. You can also apply for grants in order to do this. In fact, one of our teams actually won a grant from NEA, the National Environmental Agency, recently. Okay. So these are some examples of regional impact experience projects. Coral reef restoration in close in Bali in Indonesia, and there are other examples as well. Yeah. Okay, so here's your roadmap. Okay, if you come into NUS, you have to do your bachelor's degree courses. Okay, you also have to take common curriculum courses. But if you are an NUS college student, you not only take the bachelor's degree courses, but you take your common curriculum courses in NUS college, typically about 14 of them. And this is how it would look like. Your global experience course would, and any student exchange would fall under the elective courses here. Okay. Yeah, so we are not just a faculty, we are a community. We want to grow our community, and this is a diverse community. We seek to be diverse and respectful of one another. Right now, we have close to more than 50 majors, around 20 nationalities, 90 feeder schools. Right. So we hope that students as part of this community will grow together, and it would be a very positive, life-changing experience in university. Okay. The first year of residence is compulsory. Just bear that in mind. And unless there's a really special circumstances, all our students must stay on campus in the first year. And altogether, they need to stay on campus for 2 years. Okay. We do guarantee residence during your first 3 years. If you are an international student who does not have a home address in Singapore, we also guarantee 4 years of residency. We have an extensive pastoral support system, and of course, many interest groups that you can join, or you can even start your own interest groups. So now comes the question of, we're talking about admissions here. We want students who apply to know what they are applying for, and to ask yourself also whether NUS College is a good fit for you. And during our evaluation process, we will be interviewing shortlisted applicants. And this is the key question that our interviewers will be trying to answer. Is NUS College a good fit for you? So this is a guideline that we have provided, okay, that you can, we feel that NUS College would be a good fit for you if you, number one, very importantly, want to enhance your basic NUS degree. It means that you're not just satisfied with, let's say, studying physics. Even if you want to do research in physics, you want to do a PhD in physics, you recognize, or you kind of feel that that's not just enough for you. You have broad interests and you want to really master other skills, and you want to enhance your basic degrees. And that's the key reason why people join NUS College. Okay. And number two, you want to deep dive into interdisciplinary subjects. Also, it means that you have that curiosity and that passion, right? To actually dive deep into some of the interdisciplinary subjects. And you are curious about learning from your peers who come from other disciplines. Okay? Number three, you are intellectually curious and globally oriented. And number four, you want to grow with us in our diverse community. Number five, you wish to make a lasting positive impact on the community around you through our Impact Experience project. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the applications. We want our students, when they apply, to really showcase themselves in an authentic way. And remember that when you are preparing your application, that's all we see before we interview you. So your personality and your personal experiences should come through clearly. Okay? And we view our students as multifaceted individuals. So of course, academic performance is important, okay, but that's not the only factor that we look into. So there is an application form, and as part of that form, there is an admissions essay, and then shortlisted students will go for an interview. Okay. Now, before I go on to this, let me just mention that all that I'm going to say now in the next few slides are applicable for students applying to the various degrees in NUS that are compatible with NUS College, except for music. So music is a newly added major, okay, that we have for our students in NUS College starting in the coming academic year. If you are interested in applying to the Yong Siu To Conservatory of Music, you do not go through the NUS Office of Admissions portal. You apply directly to Yong Siu To, and then we will reach out to you from there regarding your interest in NUS College. Now, if you are interested in studying medicine, please be aware that medicine in itself is not compatible with NUS College in the sense that we do not have a full program for students studying medicine. However, there is an NUS College experience, which I showed just now, but I didn't point to it. And that's for students to have take a few courses in NUS College, stay in our residences, and to be part of our community. And the reason that this is happening is that we do find students from medicine who are really interested, okay, but they have so many courses to take for their degree that they cannot commit to our curriculum. Now, if you are one of these students who's interested in medicine and very interested in NUS College, you can still apply, but be sure to also indicate an alternative choice of major that is compatible with NUS College. Okay, don't just apply for medicine and then don't and leave it as that. Okay. And if you apply for medicine and you do not get into medicine, then we can also offer you NUS College together with the second choice or third choice major. Okay. Now, so we apply through our NUS, you can apply through the NUS Office of Admissions. Most of you will be doing that. And you need to indicate interest for NUS College by checking a box, and I'll show you the page later, and then submit your application materials. We require academic results from recent years of study. I do get questions on this. So actually, most of in 99% of the time, we are actually looking at your actual results, not your previous year's results. But this is available for us in the event that somehow perhaps you did badly in your final results, and then we can actually take a look at them, and see what it tells us. Yeah. If you have this, you can upload a record of your co-curricular involvements. That means whatever you're doing outside of school. Let's say you have music, or even part of school in Singapore, you have this co-curricular activities that's quite common, right? This testimonial is actually optional. Typically, our students would actually upload that on the scholarship applications page instead of on our application portal. And you will be writing in response to 2 short questions and 1 essay question. Okay, scholarships are important. I know this is on many of your minds. We have the NUS Merit Scholarship and NUS Global Merit Scholarship that we offer for Singaporeans. Okay, but we also have additional scholarships for international students, because bearing in mind that here in NUS College, we are building a diverse community where students learn from one another from different backgrounds. Okay, so we have the NUS College International Scholarship, as well as a few students getting the Temasek Foundation NUS College Sunburst Scholarship. That's for those students who are really have really demonstrated interest in engaging with the community. Okay. There are other international scholarships that are available that are not directly administered by NUS College, such as the ASEAN Undergraduate Scholarship and so on. Okay. If you want to know how to apply for the scholarships, you actually apply after you have applied for your degree and whether and your faculty like NUS College. And for most of these, that is the case. But I want to mention that for international students, the NUS College International Scholarship is by invitation. So what happens is actually in NUS College, all our students who are admitted must have gone through an interview with us. So we select the scholarship applicants based on the interview and also writing and a holistic assessment. We do not have a separate scholarship interview. Okay. So if we find that we think that you are suitable, we want to nominate you for a scholarship such as this, we will get in touch with you and you would be asked to apply. And it is important, if you want to be considered for nomination, to say that you are willing to take the tuition grants. And I will talk more about the tuition grant later. Okay, so this is the application window for reference. Okay, and yeah, here's the NUS College application process, right? This is where you indicate whether you wish to be considered for NUS College, yeah? When you are indicating your choice of study. And if you click yes, then you will be brought to our application page. This is your choice of study, single degree program. NUS Transport is a double degree program that is pre-packaged, and that's why it shows up in the Office of Admissions portal. We have double degree programs within NUS that may not be pre-packaged, right? And those will not show up. Okay, so if you are interested in the NUS Sean Po double degree program, which I have mentioned, you allows you to spend your first 2 years in France in Sciences Po. So then this is where you need to start your application. You need to say that you are interested, and then you are required to submit additional information at the NUS Sciences Po DDP supplementary application page. And don't worry, when you do that, when you do submit this application here, you will be guided to this application page. Okay. Okay. So here is your NUS College application page. Now, these questions are available on our website under how to apply. Okay, NUS College website, admissions, how to apply. So this year, there are 2 compulsory short answer questions and 1 optional short answer question and 1 essay question. Please write your responses in standard English, not in Korean or Mandarin. We don't detect that, yeah? We're only reading standard English. This question here says, tell us in about 100 words how you hope the NUS College curriculum will enhance your degree program in NUS. So that's why you need to have clarity on what NUS College offers. Okay. And this is another question. I will not go through it, and they're all available. We suggest you prepare your answers in advance. Now, at the end of the application, you are required to declare whatever help you have obtained. And also, there is a link to a resource on plagiarism. Now, as a university, just like other universities in the world, we take plagiarism seriously. Okay, so of course, before our students are admitted, we also do not expect them to plagiarize when they write their application, their admissions essay, right? So this essay cannot be copied, okay, even if it's from your own work in school. And if you have used any tools, you must declare them here. Okay, and if you have asked somebody to take a look at your work, you should also declare it here. But as far as possible, this should be your own work. Okay, and there will be a phrase that is suitable for students who have done it themselves, applicants who have done it themselves, and you can type that here. You might also want to be aware that our admissions essay questions have been tested with ChatGPT, and we also know what kind of responses ChatGPT will give, and they don't score very well based on our assessment rubrics. Okay. So this is also part of the application process. And here I would like to appeal to all of you to remember to submit your official results as soon as you get them, especially those who are applying with predicted IB scores, okay, because that would really help in the admissions process to move things along quickly. Now, if you are presenting predicted scores, and if you have taken SAT and AP tests, please provide them as well, because we can actually admit based on these scores instead, okay? Also, for some of you who are presenting foreign high school certificates, you may be required to submit scores for English language tests, and you can do so on this page. If you want to know whether you need to do that, you can go to our Office of Admissions website that gives this information. This is the tuition grant that I mentioned, right? Permanent residents and international students can apply for a tuition grant from our Ministry of Education. It's a substantial grant, okay? Do note that if you take this grant, then you are required to work in Singapore for 3 years. We don't specify where you need to work in Singapore, but it has to be in Singapore, okay? And the reason why we do that, the government does that, is that we consider that we're investing in you, and we hope to have you, stay in Singapore, contribute and interact and grow in our community for 3 years, right? If you do not take the tuition grant, and we do have students who choose not to do so, that's fine. You just have to pay higher tuition fees, and also you will not be eligible for any NUS administered or co-administered financial aid schemes. You will also not be eligible for the international scholarships that I have mentioned just now. Okay. Okay, this is about financial aid. Do apply. You're strongly encouraged to complete this application. If you're not sure whether you are eligible, but you might be eligible, go ahead and apply. Okay, and there's no deadline actually for the application for financial aid. So you can continue to do this even after you matriculate, should you need to do so. Yeah. If you have already submitted your application, that's also fine. If you are now interested in applying to NUS College, you may still go back and edit and indicate your interest for NUS College, right? Okay. Do note that once you have completed your NUS College application, you want to click Save and Submit. You cannot change what you have written anymore. You can always go back to change your choice of majors, but not what you have written in the NUS College application. Okay, and the reason that we do that is so that we can quickly proceed to get these applications all read and assessed. Okay, because we do receive a very large number of applications each year. Okay, we have some upcoming events. Today, I have actually given quite a concise summary of NUS College, so we'll have a more extended one on the 20th of January. Although this is tailored for local students applying with a polytechnic diploma qualification. Okay, we have another one on the 27th of January, which would be a little bit more general and targeted to both local and international students. Okay. Now, bookmark this page, NUS College events page. The links to register for these webinars will be available starting next week. You can always contact us if you have any specific questions. And finally, I just want to end off and thank you. And you can scan this code to join our mailing list. We have open house coming up in March, yes, and that will be very exciting. So do scan this code to join our mailing list, and you can also download a copy of slides from this link, and these slides will be slightly more extensive.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. Quack,
Thank
for
you.
your very detailed explanation. All our attendees do take note of the chat feature function that I've actually posted quite a number of links over there. So we're going to move on into the next segment, which is a Q&A segment with about 15 minutes left. So I think to start off with, Prof. Quack has actually mentioned about the written response required in the application. I was just wondering from your perspective, because each year we receive thousands and thousands of applications, what would your advice be for students preparing these responses? Prof. Quack?
I would say that first of all, there are three main questions here in this year's application. The first would be what I mentioned just now, how the NUS College curriculum, how you think the NUS College curriculum will enhance your basic NUS degree. So to answer that question, do spend some time on our website. Our FAQ section is very useful, I think. So find out more about what we offer and see for yourself how you think the college may enhance your degree. So do some research. Okay. The second question is about your activities outside of academics. In Singapore, we call that the co-curricular activities, and elsewhere it's just your other activities, right? In this question, you will be asked to reflect, okay, and there will be some bullet points of some possible questions that you can ask yourself. So this is a very personal response. And do note that we are not expecting you to list and showcase, tell us everything that you have done, because that would not be answering the question. So one thing that I do think that you should look out for is to read the question carefully and to actually answer the question. Yeah. And finally, with the admissions essay, and again, do read the question carefully. It's quite detailed, and do try to provide personal responses. Yeah, so that we can have a peek into what you are like. Yeah, and I think the students will have maybe some helpful tips as well.
Yes, yeah, I totally agree. I'm going to be, I know that there was a question on where these sample questions are. I'm going to post it shortly, but I'm just going to bring our students up to share. I mean, they are basically year 2 students. They've gone through the process. It may be different, but I think they might be able to share some advice and also their own experience. Sylvia, would you like to start off with you?
Okay, so for me, for our batch, I think we had more short answer questions and they were longer. So I remember that most of the questions were quite new and strange to me, but I had a lot of fun answering it. And I think one piece of advice I would have is just to be honest in your write-ups and try and make it as fun and as engaging for the reader as possible. So it's easier for them to get through it. Yeah.
Thank you. Mikhail?
My advice would be to start early. So when I was writing my answering the writing prompts, I started a couple of months back. Just read through the writing prompts and just left it there in a Word document. So as the days passed by, I just got ideas out of the blue to answer these prompts, and I just jotted them down. And a month before the deadline, I started compiling them together and writing the essays. So I think if you start early, you would get a lot of rich ideas. And I think the writing prompts themselves offer the opportunity to sort of dive deeper into your thoughts and understand yourself better. Because it is only by understanding yourself better that you would be able to show the admissions officers themselves who you are as a person.
Thank you. And how about you, Savik?
I think the only piece of advice I'd give you is don't shy away from writing about activities that you find mundane, especially if including those activities paint a more complete picture about yourself. I think it's worth writing them down. Write about the activities that you invested more of your time in and activities that you find special. That way you'll be able to bring it up during the interview. The interviewer knows more about it before asking you questions, and it'll be a more holistic process for you to paint yourself more completely.
So I've just posted the 2 links to the questions in the chat feature. So do refer to those. Otherwise, if you haven't bookmarked them, go to our NUS College website. You will find it on the admissions page. All right, and then we're going to move on to the next question. Actually, that's more of the interview, because Savik talked about the interview. I know that it may sound a bit daunting, particularly that at this age of 18 or so, you probably have not gone through too many. Any advice for the prospective students with us today? Students, any one of you can join in.
I think I remember my interview being really chill. The atmosphere was really chill and it was nervous at first, but then the professor and I had a professor and an alumni interview me, and they were very kind and comforting. And the questions that they asked were more pertaining towards my interest in philosophy, because I had already indicated my decision to major in it. And they asked some questions that got me thinking about how philosophy could relate to education in general. They even asked me if I could have any like philosophical readings that I could contribute to the NUS colleges courses syllabus and stuff like that. And overall, I think it was just a very warm type of atmosphere, and yeah, that was good.
Anybody else likes to share their experience?
Yeah, for me, I still recall how I was really nervous before the interview, so much so that I was fully wearing very formal attire. Even though the interview was online, I was wearing my black leather shoes, just so that I could sort of keep my nerves in check. But now that I look back at it, the interview itself was more like a conversation, um, a sort of heart-to-heart talk, you could say. And the first couple of questions were mostly revolving around getting to know me. And as the questions progressed, I think the last question, one of them were regarding somewhere around the topic of cultured meat. Given that I was studying engineering science, the the prof asked me about my opinions on cultured meat, and a few months before that, I read extensively on the topics. I was just unloading all of that in the interview. But throughout the interview, the prof kept reminding me that this is reminded and reaffirmed that this interview was the conversation. And for me, it surely was one of the most enjoyable interviews I had.
Glad that you had a good experience with us, and keep up with that good dressing. I think that's something that for us Singaporeans, we take it for granted. When it's online, we'll dress up at the top, but not at the bottom. Savik, over to you. What about you?
I must say the interview was fun, but honestly, I remember being very nervous. It was actually quite nerve-wracking for me because during the interview, adapting to the Singaporean accent was quite a challenge. However, thankfully, the patience and understanding of the alumni and the professor was quite remarkable. They repeated the questions whenever necessary, and they created a very comfortable atmosphere for me. So that really alleviated my anxiety. And honestly, I can say that this openness and diversity is all what we're all about at NUSC. And so, if something wrong happens to you during the interview, maybe there's some odd background noise or your microphone doesn't work properly, don't worry about it. The professor and the alumni, they won't hold this against you in your assessment. I also found it quite useful to prepare a list of stories that I really wanted to talk about because I'm quite forgetful of myself. So if there's a certain question which, I can specifically weave in a very specific story or a very specific point that I wanted to tell the professor, I would list it all down before the interview, and I would just go through quickly through the list before the interview. That would really prep me and ensure that I don't miss any important point or don't regret later.
All right, thank you. Just a reminder that for candidates who are applying from Singapore who lives here, we will be conducting face-to-face interviews, and those who are overseas, of course, it will be online. And generally, this is about 20 minutes or so, and with two parties from NUS College. It could be a professor, it could be an alumni, and so these are the people that you'll be interacting with. And I like to just continue one more thing about this interview, and this is back to Prof. Quack. Do you have, because we've heard from the students, and how about yourself as the Vice Dean of Admissions, representing the faculty as well? What kind of things do you look out for candidates?
So I think just like you have heard from the students, right? The interview is meant to be a conversation. So that's one thing we look out for actually. So students who come in and they try to give a speech and they try to start to tell us a lot about how they went for an Olympiad and this and that, they in a way that does not answer the question that is being posed, they don't actually score too high on the interviews, because it's meant to be a conversation and you're supposed to relax. We don't need to tell us all these things about yourself, because that's not what we are assessing during the interview. And I actually like what Satvik said, which I think is a very thoughtful advice, and I could imagine myself doing that if I were in your shoes. So it is good to list down what are the things that you might feel I unique about yourself. And it's just that when you are in the interview and you are having a conversation, you bring it up only when it fits into the conversation. Just as he has actually said, yeah, just to reiterate. And I think we want to also make sure that our students are able to be sincere, and that can also show up if you're not sincere. Yeah. At the same time, right, it is okay to say, let me think about this. If you need some time to gather your thoughts, and I have given some very high scores to students who actually do that, because we do understand that it can be a little bit scary, although it's not meant to be. We want to make you feel comfortable. But just, if you need the time, let me think about it. And then just pause, think about it, and calm down, and then continue, right? It's totally fine. Yeah. Another thing is, do not be surprised, right? If we change the topic suddenly during the interview, because we have limited time, about 15 to 20 minutes actually, typically 15 minutes. So sometimes there might be certain aspects that we might want to find out about, that we had, that and the conversation that is going on at that time does not seem to be able to reveal that about yourself. Then we will say, okay, let's change the topic. Yeah, you don't have to be surprised or think that it reflects something about what you have been saying. So it's just, don't be self-conscious, basically. Just be relaxed and treat it like a just like a conversation, as the rest have said. Yeah.
All right. So to sum up, it's be relevant in your response, and then listen carefully. Of course, that will lead to the advice to ensure that you got a good bandwidth, good Wi-Fi at home, and probably get earplugs, earphones, so you can hear clearly. If you can't, just ask if you could repeat the question and pause if necessary. So there is a repeated question on the Q&A. Here I've got a question: does NUSC provide options for accelerating the standard undergrad curriculum like US-based honors college too?
Okay. Thank you for that question. So this is something that has to be referred to the other NUS faculties that are handling your degrees. So it depends. And so for example, for some of our polytechnic students, they do come in and are able to take advanced placements within their disciplinary faculties. But this is not related to NUS College, because our NUS College courses do not qualify for such advanced placements. Yeah.
Okay, so we are almost 3 o'clock. Do we want to wrap up with one last note from why did our students choose us? Silver? I'm pretty sure, Silver, you are in the Waseda double degree program.
Yes.
And then I'm pretty sure you had quite a bit of options given your profile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So perhaps you could explain. I mean, it's going to be a difficult situation, but it's a happy situation, getting offers from multiple places, whether it's locally or overseas. But maybe you could share why did you choose a US college at the end?
Right. So, because I am a philosophy major, which means that I would be entering the College of Humanities and Sciences. I mean, I am still a student there, but being an NUS college student means that I am able to learn, rather take the interdisciplinary courses offered by NUS College, which I much prefer over the College of Humanities and Sciences, because I found the courses to be more academically rigorous, and that's something that I like, to challenge myself mentally, and also to gain more knowledge and stuff like that. Also, when I attended a few academic talks and admission talks, such as this one for NUS College, and what I heard there was kind of fits with what I envisioned myself doing in university. And so yeah, that's why I applied. And then the byproduct is to, get along with a lot of people, and then also to get the chance to apply to the Waseda double degree program. Yeah.
And Savik, how about you? I know that you took a gap year post high school, and you actually attended quite a bit of all these info sessions, webinars for admissions of other universities outside Singapore.
Yeah, and of all of those admission sessions, I felt that the student ambassadors who were from the honors colleges of their departments or of the universities, and students who come from universities where there is a common curriculum which has liberal arts programs, liberal arts courses. They seem to share that they were able to take more risks in their courses, take up certain independent projects, and pursue certain opportunities where they were able to share some really exciting stories about. And I felt that those things translated into NUS College as well, with your research experience, grants, impact experience opportunities, and all of those really made that experience very much like the stories I heard from those honors college students. So I think in the end, that was the main reason why I chose NUS College.
Mhm. And the Mikhail, you come from Sri Lanka. What about you? What made you leave home?
Well, for me, it was that I primarily had a wide range of interests outside the engineering sciences as well. So in political science, philosophy. Back at home, I don't based on my research, I could not find any other education program that would give me the opportunity to engage and immerse in these fields that I was interested in. So I saw NUS College to be as an exciting challenge that would help me grow and become a better version of myself by helping me engage in these uh, other interests that I also have and sort of impart the soft skills that they have to offer too.
Mhm. Thank, thank you. I'm gonna I know scholarship is quite an important thing. Financial aids, etc. Is as a parent, it's always on my mind. Perhaps I would like to bring Prof. Quite back on the screen to talk a little bit about our scholarship that she has
Yeah,
to.
so I had posted a link, you can find it on our NUS College website that provides more details on what the different scholarships cover. And as I saw in one of the replies in the Q&A, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, it is quite a comprehensive scholarship, right? So not to worry about financial situations if you have that scholarship. We also separately have financial aid that is separate from scholarships. And we do take this very seriously. We want to make sure that NUS College is a diverse community and nobody should be denied of a place as long as it meets all the requirements that we have, right? And just to reiterate, if you are an international student and if you want to be considered for the scholarship, you should really seriously consider taking up the tuition grant. And that's all you need to do. Unless, of course, you're applying for the ASEAN scholarship and other scholarships. But if you are a Singaporean and are interested in the NUS Merit and Global Merit scholarships, you should apply. So even if NUS College has our own set of scholarships to give, but we do not offer the scholarships to students who have not indicated their interest in these scholarships. So you need to apply for these scholarships. Yeah, just to be clear. Yeah.
Thank you. So I think you can refer to the chat. The links are there on the scholarships, the guidebook to it. And then I think what we want to do is just one final reminder, and also this is actually back to you, Prof. Quite. There are quite a few number of questions related to results not being released after the portal has closed. So should they be submitting the predicted and how does it work, when the results are out, the portal is closed, etc.?
There is a mechanism for you to update your final results that the Office of Admissions will deal directly with you on that. And all I want to say is be prompt because every day counts, in this process. And the second thing is, yes, go ahead and submit your predicted scores, and especially if they are official predicted scores, like those that are offered those taking the IB diploma.
Mhm.
Basically, we typically make offers based on confirmed scores. But occasionally, for the IB diploma, we can also make some offers using predicted scores. If you do not receive an offer from us based on the predicted scores, not to worry, because we are watching out for you. We are waiting for your results to come in. Yeah.
Yeah, so once again, you have predicted score, just set it in together with your application. But most importantly, you must submit your application with supporting documents before the portal closes for your qualifications that you're applying with. And then when your actual results comes in, that's why you upload the results. And generally, the offers will then be rolled out upon receiving the actual results, verification of the results. So that will be slightly later on, so but hang on to your seat. It takes time to process the things here. And I will also link one more final thing. I'm gonna go and look for it. The single degree prerequisites, subject prerequisites, that's really important as well, that you should be keeping an eye on. So I think with that, we're gonna wrap up closing statement from our students. Shall we start with Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. So I wish you all the best for your university applications and hope that it will also serve as a fun opportunity to get to know yourself better. I believe that it is by understanding yourself better that you would be able to decide whether NUS College is the right fit for you. And I think that this is what the application process is all about. It is about you deciding whether NUS College is the right fit for you, as much as it is about NUS College deciding whether you are the right fit for it.
Excellent. And Savik?
I just want to say something to reduce your anxiety right now. So NUS college students can benefit from all the challenging interdisciplinary courses that they face, and you might see yourself as a part of this community. And I do think that every student deserves NUS college. But more importantly, not every student needs NUS college right now. You can leverage various resources around you to learn the interdisciplinary skills, and you can find yourself in a forward-thinking community like NUS College in many NUSC CCAs. So the admission officer and you need to decide, like Mikhail said, whether you are in the position right now to leverage NUS College. So don't worry, don't be stressed. I approached NUS College admissions just like this, without the stress of being accepted into it. And ultimately, I find that mindset to drive the best application, to drive the best essays, and to be, motivational for your interview as well.
Excellent. And to wrap up, Prof. Quat?
Yeah, I just want to say all the best to all of you, wherever you end up. And I hope that today's sharing was helpful and you're able to clearly understand what NUS College offers, and typically what our students are like, And maybe I'll just flash this slide once again for you, because that's what. See. Oops. Sorry, it didn't work. Yeah. This one, right? Yeah. So join us if this speaks to you. Yeah. And I hope to see you at open house sometime if you happen to be in Singapore at that time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for me, I would say that just this is the time to think about what you like to achieve, what you can offer, the value that you can add to us, as well as what we can add to you. And then most importantly is to put in that application if this is something that you really like to explore or discover. And do remember the links to the upcoming webinars will be available by the end of this Friday for sure. So go and also just bookmark that events page so you are aware of all the happenings in the college, and particularly those that's open to the public. And of course, we will be holding the open house sometime next year in Q1. And also do join our mailing list. And so I will see you very soon. This is the mailing list. You can download a deck of the general NUSC info session deck. That's a lot more comprehensive than what Prof. Craig has done today. So with that, we'll wrap up today's session. Thanks so much for making time to stay with us. We'll see you. Do reach out to us if you have questions. And I know that we have a couple of questions that we are not unable to respond. But if you want a copy of this recording, it will be uploaded onto YouTube, our channel at NUS College. It will be again sometime later this week by December 22nd, Friday. All right. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.